The eighth commandment in the Bible, part of the Ten Commandments, is found in Exodus chapter 20, verse 15, paralleled in Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 19. It states simply and directly, "You shall not steal." Note, this is consistently the eighth commandment in Protestant, Reformed, Orthodox, Evangelical, and Jewish traditions. In Catholic Lutheran numbering, it's the seventh due to combining earlier idolatry commands, but the text is identical across Bibles. What does it teach us? This commandment protects the right to private property and promotes justice, integrity, and generosity in how we handle possessions. It assumes that ownership is legitimate and good. Rooted in God's creation order, people work to produce value, and property reflects stewardship of what God entrusts. Stealing violates another's God-given right to what belongs to them and ultimately dishonors God. The ultimate owner of all things, Psalm chapter 24, verse 1, "The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof." Key lessons include respect for others' property and personhood. The command forbids taking what belongs to someone else without consent, whether by force, robbery, stealth, theft. Fraud, cheating in business, or deception, false advertising, shortchanging wages. It extends to kidnapping or human trafficking. Exodus chapter 21, verse 16 treats stealing a person as a capital offense, showing it safeguards human dignity as image bearers of God. It prohibits many subtle and legal forms of stealing. Beyond obvious crimes like shoplifting or burglary, it condemns withholding what is owed, delayed payments. Cheating employees, Leviticus chapter 19, verse 13. Unfair business practices, false weights, bribery, extortion, usury that exploits, or monopolizing to inflate prices. Plagiarism or intellectual theft, passing off others' ideas work as your own. Wasteful or negligent use of entrusted resources, time, talents, employer property. Oppression of the vulnerable, e.g., unjust taxes laws that take from some to benefit others unfairly. It addresses the heart, greed versus contentment. Stealing often stems from covetousness, linking to the 10th commandment. The command calls us away from envy, self-centered acquisition, and the getting mindset toward trust in God's provision. Hebrews chapter 13, verse 5. Keep your life free from love of money, and be content with what you have. Positive duties it requires. Where sin is forbidden, the opposite virtue is commanded, as in many Reformed catechisms like Heidelberg and Westminster. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 28 provides the New Testament expansion. Let the thief no longer steal, but rather let him labor, doing honest work with his own hands, so that he may have something to share with anyone in need. This teaches integrity, honest dealings in all things. Industry, hard, diligent work rather than idleness or shortcuts. Generosity, working not just for self but to give to those in need, turning from taking to giving. Modern applications. In today's world, it challenges tax evasion, pirating media, padding expenses, gossip that steals reputation, or exploiting systems for personal gain. It promotes fair wages, ethical business, charity, and stewardship, using what we have, money, time, abilities, responsibly as God's stewards rather than owners. In summary, the eighth commandment teaches that property rights are sacred because they reflect God's order and human dignity. It forbids all forms of theft, direct or indirect, overt or subtle, while calling us to honest work, contentment, fairness, and generosity. By obeying it, we honor our neighbor, trust God's provision, combat greed, and live out a life of justice and love that mirrors the giver of all good things.